Monday. We look forward to the second month of the fantasy baseball season. Hi, I'm Amber Wilson, and welcome to the Fantasy Baseball Weekly Planner for week number 5. David Gonos will join me in a few to talk about who to get in your lineup if winning interests you at all. And a lot has been made about A-Rod's April and his so-called return to greatness, as he's about to hit more home runs in the season's first month than any player in Major League history. The truth is, 2006 wasn't such a bad year for Alex Rodriguez with respect to his fantasy numbers. He hit .290 with 35 homers and drove in over 120 runs in 2006, which is not too far off from his average production. But a player who really dropped off in 2006 was Jake Peavy. He was a consensus first-round draft pick heading into last year, but failed to meet expectations, finishing with an 11-14 record and an ERA over 4, which made owners a little slow to pick him up in 2007 drafts. Well, in case you were wondering, Jake Peavy is 100% back. In his last start against the Diamondbacks, Peavy struck out 16, including 9 in a row in a no decision. He's 3-0 after his first 5 starts with a sub-.2 ERA and a whip around 1. There should no longer be any questions about Jake Peavy, especially going into a 2-start week where he faces the Nationals and the Marlins. Tim Hudgens, another guy who's coming off an abnormally unproductive 2006 who shined in the first month. He finished 13-12 with a career-high 4.86 ERA in 2006, but look what he's doing so far this year. 3-0 like Peavy with a .49 ERA and a microscopic whip. He also goes twice for the Braves in Week 5. Last time he was a 2-start pitcher in Week 2, he went 14 innings and gave up only 1 earned run on 5 hits while striking out 12. And what about Barry Bonds making a big splash in 2007 after only 26 homers and 77 RBI in 2006? After a bit of a slow start this year, Barry's putting it together. He's hitting .347 with 7 home runs already as he continues to stalk Hank Aaron's record. And this is the time of the show we tell you about some injuries from Week 4. If you drafted Mark Prior, you knew what you were getting yourself into. Shoulder surgery on Wednesday ended his 2007 season before it even started. And keeping it in the NL Central, Ben Sheets left his last start at Wrigley in the 4th inning with a groin injury. His status is up in the air, but remember, he missed much of 2006 on the disabled list. Nick Swisher missed Wednesday's game for the A's with an injured left hamstring. He's not expected to visit the DL. And White Sox DH Jim Thome has an aching ribcage that has kept him out for a couple of games in Week 4. He, too, is listed day to day. And we welcome in senior fantasy baseball writer David Gonos to the program. And David, your cohort, Eric Mack, drafted Mark Prior in the 15th round in the magazine draft this preseason. So even our experts get sucked in by the promise that we once saw from Prior. Is it time to just go ahead and give up on this guy already, though?
Well, you know, it's interesting. In CBS Sportsline League, Prior was selected on average in the 17th round. So Mack wasn't alone. Prior will obviously be an even later pick next year, if at all. To me, he's a nice last-round pick. If he falters in the first couple weeks, you cut him, there's no harm done.
All right, and Ben Sheets was limited to 22 starts 2 years ago, just 17 in 2006. Now, after just 5 starts in 2007, he has a groin injury. Is he going down the same path as Prior?
Well, it's not a bad comparison. You know, earlier in Prior's career, he was having some random injuries. The oblique, ankle, a broken leg. Sheets' past injuries are similarly quirky. He had an inner ear infection, strained chest muscle, and they both have had bouts with shoulder tendonitis. So it's not a bad comparison, but obviously Sheets right now is a much more productive pitcher.
All right, and just in case anybody out there doesn't already know, reiterate to our viewers how you feel about pitchers in fantasy baseball.
Well, there's always going to be good pitchers coming down the pike. You just have to be ready to take advantage once they do come. Don't rely too much on a pitcher once he does shine, because it could be short-lived.
All right, but there are some pitchers you do like. Your 2-start sleepers so far this year have been golden. Go ahead and tell us who you like this week.
Well, first I'm going to go with Chad Durbin. He's coming off an impressive start in Chicago in Week 4 as he went 8 scoreless. In Week 5, he's pitching at Comerica Park versus the Orioles. And then he faces his old team in Kansas City with Zach Greinke at the mound, who could be another 2-start sleeper this week. He's got 2 home games, the second of which he faces Durbin. But if you can't get one, try to get the other.
All right, thanks again, David. That'll do it for us for now. For everything else you need to know in the world of sports, keep your mouse clicking right here on CBSSportsline.com. Don't forget to come back Monday when Eric Mack will join me for Fantasy Baseball Weekly. But for now, if you missed anything here today, stop, refresh, and rewatch. For David Gonos, I'm Amber Wilson. Good luck.